Good morning, everyone. How are you? Hope everyone's well today. So today we're talking about what happens when you eat too much. And I might be getting ahead of myself with upcoming holidays, but they are right around the corner. We know that they'll be here before we know it. And a lot of us, I know, are surrounded by lots of good holiday foods and different things that we're not normally around or things that we just really enjoy. So I thought if we can understand what's actually going on and happening in the body, then that can kind of help us when we're thinking about things that we want to eat and things that we want to enjoy, and just enjoying them in a way that actually feels good to our body and not making our body have to go into overdrive because we've eaten too much of it. So I'm going to explain a little bit about that today. So if you come on, please say hello. Let me know you're here. And also, if you catch the replay, #replay. And if you have any questions at all, pop it in the comments for me. I am so happy to answer your questions. So, okay, let's dive in. All right. So sometimes I know our eyes get bigger than our stomach, especially when we have, this nice spread of food out in front of us, and you end up eating more than your body can actually handle at one particular time. And when you eat too much, your digestive system is just it has to go into overdrive to handle all of that food that you just gave it. And that causes a spike in your blood sugar. Okay, so your blood sugar is going to go right up. And then, of course, our stomach doesn't feel so good when it has that huge amount of food on top of it too. And then we end up kind of getting kind of tired and sluggish. It's like we're not eating for fuel at that point. We're overeating and going overboard. So we pass that point of feeling good, right? And now we're not feeling so good. Now we're feeling a little tired or sluggish. So what can really help out here is to just eat intuitively. So that means that you're eating when you're hungry and you're stopping when you're full. It's that simple. And it can really be that simple, because the temptation to indulge, I know it's everywhere, right? Whether it's the holidays or not. And from, whether it's the occasional birthday cake or, that maybe that pint of ice cream that you have crammed way back in the corner of your freezer. Good morning, Christine. How are you? Thank you for coming on. So, indulging once in a while, certainly okay. Absolutely okay. But doing it too often, that's where we run into trouble with our health, right? That's when it can have an effect on our health. And when we overeat, it's usually something like junk food, but you can overdo it on those good for you foods too, okay? So overeating is simply, it's just taking in that excess amount of food, all right? And when we're doing that, that's compared to how much your body actually needs and how much it can actually handle at one time. Because everybody's different. So everybody's tolerance for how much they can handle or how much the body actually needs is going to be different, okay? So that's eating too much is absolutely subjective to everybody, because it's different for each person, and everyone's different, and their eating habits are different as well. So we take into consideration, your body's composition, your age, your height, any medical conditions you may have, and even your health goals, should be taken into consideration when you're measuring how much is too much for your own unique body. And you'll know you've eaten too much by a few signs that your body will give you right after you've taken that last bite. So let's say that all of a sudden you have this hot flash come over you in the middle of eating, but the food you're eating wasn't spicy. So that's a sign that you've most likely overeaten, because your body temperature goes up when you digest. Okay, so there's a clear sign that, I think I should be done here. And then this is pretty obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you need to take breaks in order to finish your meal, or you feel like you need to loosen your pants because there's some bloating or discomfort going on, chances are you've eaten too much at that point. But hunger cues, or in this case, fullness cues, they're not just physical, okay? If the thought of finishing what's on your plate to you is just, it's too much, it's unbearable, you're like, there's too much here. That's definitely a sign, for sure. Your body and your brain are telling you, okay, I'm fully satisfied with what I've already had, okay? You're satisfied and your hunger has been fulfilled, okay? Good morning, Lena. How are you? So what's going on with your body? Okay, let's dive a little deeper into what is actually going on. Well, eating too much, it causes your body to just go into overdrive because it has to do something to handle all of this food. So then when we add in foods that are high in sugar, that can possibly cause actual cognitive function to become a little impaired. Okay, it's not going to work as well. And we'll have like have you had moments where, like I said, your eyes are bigger than your stomach, but sometimes your cravings will get the best of you, and say like two cookies will turn into a heck of a lot more than just two cookies. But overeating happens even though it might feel satiating in that moment. When we eat that excess amount of food, that's where we do the real damage to our insides, okay? So for one, eating too much causes that spike in our blood sugar levels, okay? Because your body is trying to overcompensate, and then it has to produce more insulin than what it would normally produce, okay, if you weren't giving it these large amounts of food, so that it can keep your blood sugar levels like at that healthy range. So because of that, you can end up getting a headache. You could maybe feel more thirsty. I know if I have overeaten, I always feel really thirsty, and it comes on like that. Like I'm like instantly thirsty. You could feel more tired, more sluggish. And it's also possible that your body is going to store, well, it has to store the excess blood sugar and calories, okay? It has to do something with it, so it's going to store them, which that leads to what we don't want, which is weight gain, right? So let's see. What's actually going on in your stomach when you overeat, okay? Well, your digestive organs literally are swelling. They're swelling right up. Good morning, Suzanne. How are you? And that's causing bloat, right? We feel it, we see it, and it's uncomfortable. Okay, so we're feeling some sort of discomfort there, maybe even nauseous sometimes, and in some cases, maybe some acid reflux. And it takes your food a really long time to break down. If you've just thrown a whole bunch of food down your throat and it's sitting there, it's going to take a long time to break down. So we're putting all this added stress on our body, on our digestive system. So that means your sleep's not going to be as good, and your brain is not going to function quite as well like it needs to, okay? And your thoughts can even become a little distorted. And there's actually been some recent studies that were suggesting that overeating or consuming large amounts of foods that are like high in fats and sugars for an extended period of time actually impaired cognitive function, all right? And a few findings included things like memory loss, impaired judgment, and increased white matter in the brain, which is typically associated with older people. So to me, that's saying that it's aging us as well. So how can we actually ease this stomach upset and discomfort, if you've gone a little overboard? Okay. Well, number one, be sure to drink your water. We gotta stay hydrated. That's really going to help. And but before that, if you do eat too much, remember to be kind to yourself. Don't punish yourself. Don't get mad at yourself. Don't beat yourself up, because that's not helping anything, right? So be kind with yourself, and not just physically, mentally as well. And then just move forward, okay? If you want, now incorporate some healthy, nutrient-dense foods into your next meal. That's going to make you feel better. And once you've come to terms with the fact that you've actually just overeaten and your body is probably paying the price for it, your first order of business is to drink more water, okay? It's going to actually help your body to digest, so that in turn will make you feel better. And it's also going to help you just detox your system from all that excess sodium that we probably just, consumed. And as far as physical activity goes, if you eat too much, you don't want to do any kind of like rigorous or strenuous exercise at that point. Just some light exercise will actually make you feel better and helps you digest too. If you go for a nice walk after your meal, and anytime, it doesn't have to be because you've overeaten. Anytime, say, for example, after dinner, when the weather's nice, I love to go out for a nice walk, but it also helps you to digest. when you do that too. So exercise can really help to jumpstart your metabolism for you and help your body work off those extra calories that you just put in. So like I said, going for a walk, eating some nice yoga, can help you feel better and help you digest as well. So getting that water in and your movement, especially say, like I did mention, holidays are right around the corner. They are coming up, and Thanksgiving is right around the corner especially. And what I like to do is after we have our nice big Thanksgiving meal, I tell everybody, okay, let's, we're going out for a walk now. I love to go just get everybody out for a walk. Hopefully, every year I pray that the weather's not going to be too cold for us so we can get out there and go for a nice walk, because it makes you feel so much better. And even just getting out in that fresh air feels really good and just kind of wakens your senses. And that way, when we come back, before we actually have dessert, I'm actually ready for it and I feel good, okay? So if you have any questions about the content I just covered, or any health, wellness, weight goals at all that you want to discuss, let me know. I'm happy to discuss them with you. You can reach out to me, either pop something in the comments or PM me, whatever works best for you. So that's it for now, everybody. And if there's no questions, I'm going to hop off. But I hope you'll have a very beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.